They wouldn't be putting no half-ass rhymes because nothing about Canibus. Well, I can't say nothing about Canibus was half-ass because after his career started, and I know he had to be dealing with a lot of shit from his career pretty much being handicapped over something that he, like, nobody, like, you didn't do nothing wrong.
Money, gotta have it. Make it disappear when we get paid like magic. Money, gotta have it. Make it disappear when we get paid like magic.
So, you know, whatever.
I mean, but the answer for that is what I would tell Canibus is this. See, you going through a certain life path, and you already know, because I'm sure you already enlightened to all of all that type of information. But you want a certain path that you're gonna have to learn how to pretty much become an illuminating nurturer. So you already know that, you know, everything is an illusion, but it still affects you physically. But you have to understand that you have to get out of your own mind, and you really have to control something, because you got certain energy to where you have to be able to control and manage people or manage a business, or you have to be able to take on these things, you know what I mean, and then put energy, and then, you know what I mean, everything comes right back around. So this is, you know what I mean, that's, you're supposed to be able to use that and still say, yo man, F all that. I don't even care.
Yeah, we want to learn, but we don't want to write.
LL Cool J.
What we have here is the new millennium teach and research machine. What do you guys
it's all up here, man. It's all up here, but
That's another Canibus video.
You know, now we need another Canibus video right now, man. This what, Niggadometry? Niggadometry.
So you did a video for this song?
I did this one.
They had to edit it. Say Negronometry.
Wow. Negronometry.
See, that's how you fucked up. You can't put the song, you can't make a clean version of the song. So I can see, okay, that's the video that shouldn't have been made.
Well, see, with that one, man, it's just a thing.
I know the I Honor You song is actually a cool song. The video looked good. Second round knockout, you already know that shit was tremendous. Now this shit looks like an actual Canibus video. This what the shit look like.
You know what I mean? It's just marketing, because this is more going straight. You know what I'm saying? That other song you just heard, the other video, is going wild. He's trying to get, you know, fans. You know, he's just trying to put his style, be able to change the subject matter and put it to where he got to put it to, and but still keep that same energy and that same flow and delivery and all of that. But yeah, this definitely just sound like some, you know what I mean, I'm gonna destroy you alive, lyrical battle, you know what I mean.
That's a good video to put on fucking BET during that time.
Right.
During that time, late 90s.
I mean, but if you erase the LL Cool J beef and just had Canibus come out with a clean record of,
maybe that was his mistake. He came out with the second round knockout. That was his debut.
But see, his debut was to deflect. If I was Canibus, I would have ignored it and just came out like it never happened. Because see, now you coming off on pretty much response energy. You coming off on negative energy. You know what I'm saying? But see, being that young at that time, you didn't really know that. So you just was trying to, you know what I mean, protect yourself, and you was trying to defend yourself, and you was like, okay, Nick, you know what I'm saying? It's just how these rhymes go. It's like, it's just, you know what I mean? The competitive nature of rhyming, you know what I'm saying? And when certain people got lyrical skill, you know what I mean? It causes.
But that's exactly what Canibus represent. represented was the competitive nature.
Yeah.
He represented this idea that I'm going to try to be better than everybody else around me at all times. I can't never allow myself to feel like I'm inferior to any MC. I have that desire to always be on top. And that's the energy that he came through the underground, through the radio. When I first started hearing him just over the radio, just freestyling, just the dopest rhymes that anybody has ever heard, ever. Nobody ever heard anything as dope. And that's how he came in the game. I am the dopest MC that you ever would hear. So, for somebody like LL to get away with saying something about him, it was like,
but
his ego couldn't let him do it. His reputation couldn't let him do it. That's why I say he was forced. Maybe not to have the lead video for your album, for your debut album, be a response to LL, but at least you had to put something out, some kind of diss track. I agree. You probably should have did a video on something else.
I mean,
he should video and then just release that as a diss track and not try to build his mainstream career off of coming at LL.
I mean, but exactly. But see, think LL, going back to LL, man, just going back, his emotions, okay, like this dude, LL Cool J, he pretty much looked at it. He could have flipped it and said, okay, look, man, I understand that you want to, basically, I understand you want to get this mic off my arm. It's like, this the original arm. You know what I mean? He could have, like, flipped it and made it more creative and lyrical and still could have made it fun. But you can hear from the verse, even when he said, he's like, yo man, this mic would never leave my arm. And if it does, it turns into a time bomb and all this other type. So I'm like, oh my God, like, come on, man. Like, you could have, like, flipped it and been like, okay, I got you, Canibus, but I'm still the king because I'm LL Cool J. But I got you, young one, and I wish you a happy career. And you know what I mean? But it's just like, I don't understand. But on Canibus's end, he should have just not even entertained that negative energy and seen the flaw in LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? Even though that might have been your idol and he giving you your shot and all of this, you gotta understand that people are people, and everybody got flaws. So look at, okay, that's a flaw in him. So I ain't even gonna let that affect me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a personal LL Cool J problem. He got some serious ego problem. So let me go ahead and just concentrate on my rhymes and just focus on like this shit never happened. And for him, like you said, for him to come out initially with that second round knockout, as the single, right? It was kind of like, damn, like you starting off on this energy of battling LL.
With Mike Tyson on the song.
With Mike Tyson on the song. Like, so basically, in order for your career...
And in the video.
So, in order for your career to thrive...
So, he pretty much banked his whole career on this shit.
No, but in order for his career to thrive, Canibus would have had to destroy LL's career, or LL would have his career would have been destroyed. Now, at that time, because of, it wasn't an abundance of social media platforms and things, people tweeting all day, things of that nature. So it was a thing where LL's influence was equivalent to maybe okay, let's say Drake or something, especially with the consumer base. So it's that fan base, okay? So you're dealing with these fans, and like they're gonna roll with LL Cool J. Now, even only if LL Cool J put out a dud. His song was lucky enough to get past his own fans because it was long enough. It was 3 complete verses of LL Cool J coming at him with a whole bunch of energy, but lyrically it wasn't as precise, as damaging. It took LL Cool J like the whole song, and some people would say, well, it sounds like LL Cool J won, but if you look at just like if you really look at like really the dissect,
like LL Cool J won
because of the length of it.
We need to do a whole nother episode of break down
the whole
and
debate.
Verses.
But yeah, but the thing about it. What's the thing about it?
LL, in my opinion, he had 1 bar.
Yo, man.
Ask Canibus, he ain't understanding this because 99% of his fans don't exist. That was the only dope bar that Cool J had.
Cool J had, man.
That one, he had 1 great bar. 1. Just because of his status delivered that bar.
Right.
But the rest of the shit, no. So
I mean, it's a thing where LL Cool J would have to, his career would have to be over, in a sense, or unless they would have to come out and do a track together, and you know what I mean, it's dead to beef. But
fuck that. They only got it dead to beef now because you got the internet. You can self.
Well, they already dead to beef. You know what I'm saying?
You can self promote yourself nowadays. I would like to see a resurgence of Canibus. If you know who Canibus is, would you like to see him come back?
Come on, Canibus, man, contact us, man.
Man, get on, man.
Yo, man, for real.
Put some new shit out.
Yo, put some new music out and fucking
shoot their own fucking video.
Yeah, and make it, you know what I'm saying, get your content out there. I mean, get your visuals, consistent visuals. But I already know the path that you on, so it's like it's a balance between, you know what I mean, family and you know what I mean, the artistic value. So you better, you know what I mean, that's your path of creativity, path of, you know what I mean, communication, and then you know what I mean, you dealing with a whole bunch of, you know what I mean, other humanity type related issues. You know what I'm saying? But see, if you God MCs, man, you gotta surpass the mind. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know logic, and this is logic and this practicality is some lower level form thinking. You know, that's the lowest part of you is your logic. People like think logically, think practically. That's the lowest. That's some low shit. You know what I'm saying? So you really have to, you know, everything is you make whatever you make out of any situation. You could have said, yo, this, you know what I mean, LL Cool J with this ego problem, him coming at me, this is going to benefit my career. You know what I mean? You could have flipped it in your own mind, and then this is you a god, so you flip it. No fucking situation is bigger than you, man. I'm gonna end
this off with my thought personally. The reason why I think Canibus would have been important to this society, obviously he's a Canibus fan, I'm a Canibus fan. We both introduced Canibus when we were younger, and Canibus was an artist that forced you to do research, force you to think, force you to open up a dictionary, will force you to go online on Google to find out definitions, and you would keep finding out that everything he said was actually meaningful and meant something, which puts you into the habit of studying, which if we to study a little bit more, we would, imagine the improvement our people would have.
Yeah.
Imagine improvement on our generation, on the generation, the young generation now, if they were all trained and habitually researching and just learned how to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
we need intelligence, man. But
that's it, man.
Like I said, y'all put your comments down below.
Yeah,
and,
what do you
gonna
think?
hit y'all back again.
What do y'all think?
Money, gotta have it. Make it disappear.